I'm going to talk to you guys briefly for the next 4 hours on this thing here called the result. All right, the result. Because life is essentially a series of results. Something happened and then there was a result. People think that they live with their decisions. They don't really live with their decisions. They live with the consequences of the decision that they've made. Okay, the result of that particular decision. So should I decide today I'm going to start lifting weights, all right, there's going to be a result of that. Hopefully there'll be some muscle mass gain. Okay, if I decide to love my wife more, hopefully the result of that will essentially be what? An improved marriage, a better marriage, and so forth. Just little examples here and there. But Romans chapter 10, Romans, by the way, is not just a pizza place. It's actually a book in the Bible. But it says this: but how can people call on him for help if they've not yet believed? Question mark. And how can they believe in one they've not yet heard of? Question mark. And how can they hear the message of life if there's no one there to proclaim it? And how can the message be proclaimed if messengers have yet to be sent? That's why the scriptures say, how welcome is the arrival of those proclaiming the joyful news of peace and of good things to come. But not everyone welcomes the good news, as Isaiah said. Lord, is there anyone who hears and believes our message? Faith then is birthed in our heart that responds to God's anointed utterance of the anointed one. Okay, so faith comes through hearing and hearing the word of Christ. And that's also then how fear comes. Fear comes by hearing and hearing the wrong thing. Okay, I remember years ago seeing a cool little caption, or not a caption, a picture on social media where it was religion versus relationship. And religion said this is the attitude of religion. Oh, I messed up. My dad's going to kill me. Versus relationship. I messed up. I need to speak to my dad. God is our Father, right? And He's a father to the fatherless at the end of the day. So, when we make mistakes, what is the first thing we tend to do? We tend to run away from God because we think, now we're dirty, we messed up, we like this, how's God ever going to hear me now? I can't really pray to God now. How can I expect Him even to answer my prayer and fulfill the desires of my heart if I'm so dirty, if I'm so this, if I'm so that? Let me clean up my act. Let me try and go to church 3 times on a Sunday and feel a bit better about myself. But yet on Monday I live condemned, Tuesday I live condemned because I can't nie op 'n vloek nie, I kan nie op 'n dit doen nie, can't stop doing this. And the more you try and not sin, the more you actually begin to sin. Yeah. Versus just embracing the new creation in Christ. Because the more you behold Him, the more you see that He's not the one condemning you. Something so powerful. There's this scene in the Bible where, and it's a true story, where the Pharisees, the experts of the law, they get this woman caught in the act of adultery. Question is, what were they doing? How did they even find out she was doing that act? They were busy peeping through the window, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, it's a story for another day. Hey?
Part of the act.
Hopefully not part of the act, yeah. But anyway, so they catch this woman caught in the act of adultery. They bring her to Jesus, right? And then they say to Jesus, the law commands us that we stone such a woman. Right? What do you say? I love Jesus. So cool. Cool as a cucumber. He goes, bends down, starts drawing in the sand. And he looks at them and he says to them, well, you without sin, be the first to cast the stone. Now, all of us have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Right? All of us need saving, every one of us. And what begins to happen? The rocks begin to fall to the floor. And they all begin to walk away. And Jesus looks at this woman. It was an absolute mess. Can you imagine? She was thinking she was about to die because she deserved death. She didn't deserve grace. But Jesus is grace and truth. So He gives her now grace and He's going to give her truth too now. Watch now. Watch Him. Watch the master at work. It's so powerful. He says these words to her. He says, where are your accusers now? The ones that are accusing you. And then they're all gone left, right? And then he says something so powerful to her. He says to her, neither do I condemn you. And then he says, go and sin no more. Key phrase there, my friend. Neither do I, who's Jesus, condemn you. And therefore it gives you hope, because then you know that this man, Jesus, this man loves me. So when you know someone loves you, you don't want to do them harm. It's like, for example, you find strange things happen in society where it's like, I'm not going to cheat on my wife because she'll kill me. What a whack way to end up living your life. You don't cheat on your wife. Why? Because you love her. That's why. Because she's like the apple of your eye. That's why you don't do that. Not because you don't want to be caught out. That's why you don't do that. It's like you don't want to sin. Why? Because you love God. And you found something better than this life that you were living in the first place. And the more you encounter this goodness, the result of that is a massively increased performance, which leads to